Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's multiplayer was revealed earlier this month, so I've had some time now to kind of digest all the information and all the footage, along with watching a lot of stuff that all these people who went to the event before the reveal have been releasing, getting their opinions and stuff like that. And the reason I've waited this long to make a video is simply to, like I said, digest and process it and see if I actually am interested in Call of Duty again, or if it's just kind of that passing fad of like, oh look, this is new, this looks cool, and then, you know, a week later you stop caring, because that's what happened to me with Ghosts. It's not happening this year. Advanced Warfare, well, it looks different. It looks different, and that's all I can really say because I have not played it. I have not really talked to anyone who's played it. Maybe I'll ask Cross when I see him at PAX this year. It looks different, and that has my attention. That alone has my attention because I'm watching and thinking this actually looks kind of fun. The reason that I finally stopped playing Call of Duty wasn't because I was raging at the games and, oh, this is terrible, this is awful. With Black Ops 2, I just got to a point where I was so indifferent to whatever was happening that I stopped caring, and then I, Ghost, I'm like, oh, Create a Soldier looks cool, and a week later I didn't care anymore, so I didn't even waste my time with that, and I don't feel like I missed anything. But Advanced Warfare, it looks interesting. So far it appears to be building off of Black Ops 2 rather than Ghosts. That's just what I'm basing off of what I gauge the guns handle like in the videos, and more so than that, just the menu design and the evolution of Pick 10 to Pick 13. It looks like they've used Black Ops 2 kind of as their starting point, which is a good decision in my opinion. Like I said, I just got fatigued with that game. I've said some stuff about Black Ops 2 in the past. I think it was a good game. It was just series fatigue that made me get to a point after like 2 months where I really didn't care. I kept doing the mystery box, but I was really indifferent to the game after December, really. So there's two key differences that I can pick out just from watching the footage. Because like I said, I haven't played. I can't really comment too much on the game itself because, I haven't had hands-on. It's really hard. Games are totally interactive. You can't judge without playing. It's very hard to judge without playing. But the two key differences right now are movement and verticality. Obviously, movement has been totally changed up by the exo abilities, allowing, super high jumps, increased speed, these dodges, all this cool stuff that if you watch the reveal trailer, you're seeing them chain all these different moves together along with kills, and it just looks fun. Like, imagine playing the game and getting to chain together multiple kills and multiple moves with the exo abilities, dodging, ducking, weaving in and out of areas, and just pulling that off just like that. It would just be so rewarding, I imagine. So that's something that I really want to do. I want to get my hands on and mess with that and play with that. And that's one of the key reasons why I am actually interested in Call of Duty. Is it looks fun. It looks, it looks fun. Another big thing that I said is obviously going to play a part is verticality. Of course, I mentioned how players now have the boost jump abilities, and that is going to mean map design has more vertical areas, that you're going to have higher areas that are meant for players to reach without glitching or hacking or something, because they're going to have that ability to get those massive jumps, and it's going to be really interesting to see how much of an impact it has on map design and how the game plays, because the maps will be very different from previous Call of Duties as a result of this boost jump ability. And I haven't really heard too much about what Sledgehammer has said about how they're designing the maps, other than I heard they want to have like a 3-lane sort of idea around each map, which is fine by me, because some of my favorite maps from like Modern Warfare 2 and earlier were in that kind of, they were pretty much straight up and down, but there were kind of 2 lanes on the outside and then the one center area, and I like that kind of basic design for everything. Another thing that has caught my attention is customization. For whatever reason, when a video game throws in loads of customization options, especially with a military theme, it's a huge draw to me. It's something that gets me kind of excited. It's why I was interested in Create a Soldier for COD Ghosts last year. And I like having lots of options when customizing and personalizing my loadouts, both in the guns themselves and how my character looks. It reminds me of Airsoft, actually. It might be part of the reason why I've been kind of drawn to Airsoft and getting into that in the first place, is the idea of building up kind of your arsenal of weapons and gear and customizing them and making them look and feel exactly how you want them to. And that's just something that appeals to me. It's part of why I think I've been drawn more to RPGs, to role-playing games lately. Not full-on crazy stuff, and I'm still not into JRPGs at all, but action RPG stuff like the Souls games I've really gotten into recently. So I may be getting swayed by, you know, having a year away. Like, I've talked about this in the past, and I've talked about this on Twitter, how I've been pretty much gone from the Call of Duty world for the last year. After wrapping up the 3rd season of the Mystery Box, I've played a couple times, just been like, oh, I feel like playing Call of Duty randomly. But other than that, I mean, I've been gone. And of course, there was the free weekend that Ghosts did, but I've been gone pretty much a year. My series fatigue has gone down. That's part of why I do still have issues with various things about Call of Duty, but, you know, I'm not kind of in that area where I'm just totally indifferent to it right now. It looks interesting again to me. It really does. I don't know why. Maybe it's like a drug and I'm relapsing or something. But Advanced Warfare looks interesting to me. And an interesting perspective that I have on the series now, that I think if you look at it this way, you, the viewers, look at it this way, you may get a different view of Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty has become more like a sports game than a first-person shooter at this point. I mean, you can compare it, you know, people buy, you know, the new NHL or Madden or FIFA or whatever every year for the new roster updates and the new game modes. You can compare those two things to, like, new guns and maps and the new campaign and a few new playlists that get thrown in there. And another thing that I think has contributed to Call of Duty's change to being more of a sport than a first-person shooter is the rapid rise of esports and how prominent Call of Duty is in that world. And not only that, but starting with Black Ops 2, the influence of the esports world, especially their rule set, back on the standard rule sets. You've seen how game types like Capture the Flag and Domination have been changed around to closer resemble how they play in the competitive side of Call of Duty on MLG, game battles, whatever. And that's really interesting. Again, going back, combining with, you know, how the new guns and maps are basically the roster update, and, you know, new campaign is, you know, the new game modes that they introduce every year. It gives me a different perspective on Call of Duty, and I view it in a different light, and it's a less negative light, I suppose. And maybe that's part of my own sort of efforts to be less cynical in life. But, you know, it's just a different way to look at things. So anyways, those are my thoughts on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare a week and a half, 2 weeks after the 2 weeks after the multiplayer reveal. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Share the video around if you did enjoy it. I really do appreciate it, and it does help. It really does help. Yeah, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.